Hello everyone, Mr. Yum Yum here. On the weekend we visited Dreamworld for dinner at Jane's Rivertown Restaurant, the new dining option which recently opened alongside the Rivertown precinct. At the moment the restaurant is usually open during the daytime, and the park also recently started offering evening meals on Saturdays. I've already visited quite a few times for lunch in the past, and I was really excited to come back and check it out for dinner, because to me nighttime is always much more atmospheric and evocative. If you are interested in hearing my first impressions on the restaurant, feel free to check out my previous video on my channel. I believe that reservations are required to dine at Jane's in the evening, but I could be wrong. The restaurant has an amazing atmosphere with animatronic animals as well as all kinds of treasures and artifacts scattered around. It's an amazing place to come and have a meal because you always spot something new. One of the lovely staff members gave us a heads up that there was some new additions made since our last visit, which was really exciting. This made it so much more fun to come back and visit because I felt a little bit like a treasure hunter, and if you're a Dreamworld fan you'll notice there's lots of Easter eggs and throwbacks to the classic era, including concept art and posters. Very cool. We were seated by the window, which was really nice because we had a great view of the Murrissippi River outside, as well as Jungle Rush. The menu's quite large with lots of options to choose from, including plant-based and special dietary options, which is great because many of my family members are vegans or vegetarian. There's also a really good selection of drinks, including beer, wine, and cocktails. I went for the refillable drink cup, which is a great option and very cost-effective. Someone else in my group got a pina colada, which was very nice. They do also serve coffee here, which is a great touch as well. I don't believe it's barista coffee, but I think it might be from an automatic coffee machine, which is still good enough. To eat, I had the popcorn chicken, which was absolutely delicious. Someone else got this on one of my previous visits and let me try a piece, and I knew I just had to have an entire portion to myself. And I easily could have eaten 2 portions, or possibly 3. Someone else had the steak sandwich, which they said was very nice. As you can see, nice big portions here. Many of the meals are also served with chips. Another member of my group got a pizza, which they've also had before and said was really good as usual. Again, very big portions, you could easily share any of these meals. And then the other members of the group got the vegetarian burger, which looked very cool, and they enjoyed these a lot as well. Overall, the food here is really good quality for theme park food. I'd describe the style as pub food, which sometimes is exactly what you need. Sometimes you just want a nice hearty meal, big portions, good quality ingredients, and an animatronic orangutan to watch while you eat. What else could you ask for? They do also offer specials for their evening meals, which is great to see. The restaurant was reasonably busy given that it's a bit of a niche offering at this stage. The staff were very friendly as always, which is a huge highlight. Dreamworld definitely has mastered the art of hospitality. Whenever I visit, I always feel that the staff treat us warmly, and I feel very welcomed and comfortable. Would I recommend visiting Jane's Rivertown Restaurant for dinner? Absolutely. It really was nice to come and enjoy the unique atmosphere in the evening, which felt even more magical at nighttime. Would I come back specifically for dinner? I'm not sure. I definitely had a really nice time, but if I were to have any complaints as such, although I would hardly call them complaints to begin with, it would be that the rest of Rivertown was closed down. I'd love to be able to ride Jungle Rush after my meal or Murrissippi Motors, particularly at nighttime. In fact, I'd gladly pay extra to do this, but obviously they can't keep Rivertown open 24/7. I'd also love it if they served barista coffee in the restaurant. Like I said, the coffee machine coffee is perfectly drinkable and enjoyable enough, but I'm a little bit of a coffee snob and much prefer barista coffee. I also feel like they could maybe use a few more dessert options on the menu. It's still early days after all for Rivertown and Jane's, but so far they've done an incredible job at establishing a new standard for theme parks here in Australia, in terms of theming, storytelling and immersion, not to mention the impeccably high quality and friendly service. They can only go up from here. I definitely think that Dreamworld needs some kind of accommodation, possibly towards the back of the park in between Rivertown and the animal area. I think Jane's would be the perfect dining option either for breakfast or dinner for guests staying at the park. Maybe this is looking a bit too far ahead into the future, but I personally would love to come and visit for breakfast as well. Maybe if they offered a breakfast buffet, or if they had themed pancakes and waffles. It would also be really cool if they had some kind of character interaction in the restaurant, maybe Kenny, Belinda, or some of the other Dreamworld characters we yet to see. But like I said, we're probably a ways off from this happening, although the Olympics are around the corner in 2032, and the parks are really going to have to step up their game to prepare for the tourists arriving. So far, SeaWorld is the only park with accommodation, except Paradise Country, which I don't really count. And personally, whenever I visit SeaWorld, I definitely notice the impact the accommodation has on the park attendants, and it's hard to imagine SeaWorld without the hotel. Some people think Dreamworld is still too small for accommodation, but I personally think it's the perfect size and the perfect kind of park for having accommodation, especially with White Water World next door, as well as the animals in the park. I think by putting a hotel, or maybe a section with some individual units like cottages or lodges, and if they offered early theme park access or other options like breakfast or dinner, it could be a really great addition. Anyway, I'm getting off course here now, but I absolutely loved visiting Jane's Rivertown Restaurant, and I highly recommend visiting for both lunch and dinner on your next visit to Dreamworld. And before we wrap things up, I'd like to share something very cool that I enjoyed this week, which was the amazing Dane's Theme Park Life podcast episode where he speaks to Dean and Dan from Earth Story, who are the company that designed the original master plan concept for Rivertown. And it's such an awesome podcast to listen to if you're an enthusiast or if you're interested in creative projects or storytelling. Just a great podcast. So make sure you go and listen to Dane's podcast. He puts a lot of hard work into it, and it's such a treat for enthusiasts. Before we finish, I'd like to give a very special shout out to my channel members: Koala75, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, Randall, Maloney's Coasters, Kerry Jackin, and Medic Brick. Thank you so much everyone for your very kind and generous support. It really means so much to me that you enjoy my videos enough to support the channel in this way, and it will help me to continue saving for better equipment, future trips, which will hopefully make my future videos much more enjoyable and much more interesting. And if you would like to become a channel member, you're more than welcome to do so. This will give you access to videos early, as well as receiving a special thanks at the end of my videos. And you also get access to some exclusive emojis and a special Yum Yum logo next to your username on YouTube. But if you're not in a position to support the channel fiscally, you can also support by leaving a like, a friendly comment, or subscribing for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.